being an entrepreneur, the CEO, a hustler, they're all the greatest thing on the internet right now. Everybody's got a side hustle. Everybody is the CEO of their own thing. But in reality, small business is not always as sexy. Today, we're going to be reacting to r/small business on Reddit and looking at some of the challenges and some of the benefits of running a small business. So let's dive on in. Posted 1 month ago. Be honest, how much money did you actually make last month after all expenses? Not just revenue, actual money in your pocket. This is something that really irks me because I hear it all the time. You see everybody online. I see it all the time in podcasts more frequently, where somebody comes on as a podcast guest and they say, I made $10 million last year, or I made sometimes $100 million last year. I would much rather have a company that's making $500,000 a year in revenue with $100,000 in expenses, so I walk away with 400 grand at the end of the day, than a company that's making $10 million a year in revenue, but I have to pay $9.9 million in expenses over the year, so I only walk away with $100,000. You would think that that's basic, simple math, but people tend to forget that. I'd rather have a clean business making a couple $100,000 a year in profit than a very complicated multi-million dollar a year in revenue business that's only making the same amount in profit. So I definitely agree with this person. I most care about your profit, not your revenue numbers. All right, a post by Patriot Software. Almost half of small business owners have skipped their paycheck to keep things running. The numbers came from a recent small business owner study of 1,000 business owners that said 84% have sacrificed their health and relationships or mental well-being for their business. I find this interesting because I think most people think of a business as something that just runs on autopilot and they're just raking in money. And that's not the truth for most small businesses. Are there businesses out there that are relatively passive in income? Yes. Is there anything that's really truly passive income? I'd argue probably not. But if you're running a small business, odds are that it's going to be the most important thing in your life at that point in time. It is something that is always weighing on you in the background, and no matter what you're doing, you always have the added stress of what's happening in my business. This even compounds more when you start hiring employees, and now you have other people to look out for. You're putting food on the table for other families, and so your business needs to be successful, not just for you, but also for your employees. So when you're the business owner, oftentimes people think that, oh, I'm the business owner, everybody's working for me. But in reality, if you're the business owner and you're a good business owner, the truth is that you actually work for everybody there. Your job is to support those people and take care of them. And when you make that mental shift to, I work for them, not they work for me, then yeah, when money's tight, you're gonna skip a payroll and you're gonna have to figure out how to deal with that. Because I would rather my employees have security and safety and confidence than myself. All right, next up. A client tried to negotiate the price after the work was already done. Why does this keep happening to me? This person built a full website for $800. That's a steal. A website should probably end up costing you a couple $1,000s if it's done by somebody that knows what they're doing. So anybody that could do a website for $800, that's a pretty solid deal for the person receiving that website. The web developer took a 50% deposit and did a proper discovery call, handled branding, revisions, even ADA compliance, and delivered exactly what was discussed. But after it was done and the client was happy, he said, can we do something about the price? That number was clearly reasonable. Why do some people push for a discount no matter what, and how should I handle it? So when possible, I am all for a handshake deal. But when you're providing a service and it's your full-time job, you absolutely must have a contract. That is the most important thing. I have had friends that ran small businesses, whether it be things like website development, or I've got a lot of friends in the construction trade. And guess what? Everybody operates on a handshake deal. Everybody says, you know what, I got you, you don't need to sign anything until something goes south. And then every one of those people comes back and says, okay, now every client's gonna sign a contract because I got burned. Now, some people get burned and it costs them $300 to learn that mistake. Others, it costs them $10,000. Don't be the person that it costs $10,000 to learn the hard way that you should have had a contract. So I think there's a couple of problems here. I would definitely get a contract in place. I would work on communicating my value, and I'd be very, very clear on the price. And yeah, then you can make a really, really good business out of doing website development. So this person's on the right track, just needs a little bit of business maturity to be all set for future clients. I feel like I bought myself a job, not a business. How did you get out of this stage? Wow. I think that is something that people don't realize until they get into it. Again, everybody thinks that when they buy a business, it's going to be autopilot. They're going to have to do a little bit of things, maybe some communications, but they can be a dreamer. They can think about the next cool thing and the next product, the next service that they're going to be launching, but maybe they can hire somebody to deliver it. At the end of the day, running a business is work. And being in the industry that I'm in, I hear this all the time where somebody comes in and they say, oh yeah, I am a business owner. I have a business. And when I ask them and talk about their business, really what it comes down to is they are still the key person in that business, meaning that if they stepped away, the entire thing would fall apart. When that's the case, you don't have a automated business. So don't find that out the hard way. Make sure that you know what you're getting into and then what you want out of this business before you go and you spend a lot of money to buy a business or start a business from scratch. In a very similar vein, the next post that we have is, what is the best boring business to own in 2026? This person says, what's the best boring business to own and why? I've looked at laundromats, self-storage, car washes, merchant services, vending machines. What would you choose and why? We've been seeing for decades people talking about laundromats, self-storage, car washes. And the truth is, we've seen the multiples in those businesses start to climb. I think they were really, really great opportunities maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. But now they're much more difficult to be profitable in. And honestly, if you're really, really good at what you do and you have the right mentors and you know the industry pretty well, you can still make a lot of good money in these businesses. But you're not just going to be able to immediately buy a business like that and start cash flowing more than the person that was exiting that business and maybe is from a different generation. It is a lot more difficult, and those costs have increased because a lot of those, truthfully, are more automated businesses. It's great to have something that's cash flowing $2,000 a month. That is $24,000 a year. But now you've got somebody that has to go refill those machines, collect the coins, do all that stuff, do the accounting, deal with all the paperwork. And now your accounting fees are a lot higher, and all of a sudden that's really eating into your profit. So boring businesses, big fan. I'm a huge fan of boring businesses because I think if you go where things are not quite as sexy, you're primed to have a lot of longevity. I think those boring businesses are the ones that will last for 30 years rather than chasing the next hottest thing that's a fad and will phase out in 2 years. Side Hustle just hit 50K in revenue, formed an LLC last month. What's next? About 18 months ago, I started selling a niche digital product online as a weekend project. My goal was maybe a few extra $100 per month. Fast forward to today, and the business has crossed $50,000 in total revenue. I've opened a business bank account, started tracking personal and business expenses, set up basic bookkeeping, and begun tracking monthly profit and expenses. What should I focus on next? First off, yes, opening the business correctly, forming an LLC, getting an EIN number for it. That's going to be a very important step. I'm also a very big fan of working with a good CPA. Now, is it possible to do your own books and accounting and all that stuff? Yes, of course it is. But honestly, your time is probably better spent by running your business, figuring out the next product. How do you convey your value a little bit better to your clients and your prospects and things like that? So I would rather outsource that stuff. When you hit 50K in revenue, now it's time, because it's no longer a little side hustle. Now you have a legit business. It's time to operate as a real business. So you get your people in place, you find the right insurance agent, you find the right accountant, you find the right attorney, and you basically assemble your team of Power Rangers that can take care of everything that you need to. And then you're gonna be all set, and you can focus on what you do best and let all your other people, your CPA, your attorney, your insurance guy, let them focus on what they do best. As long as you trust them and you vetted them correctly, and you should be all set. That is r/small business. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, hit the subscribe button. We are posting on about a weekly basis here, and we're posting lots of great finance content. Once again, I'm Carter Shaffer. I'm a certified financial planner here at Monocacy Financial Group. And thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.